You say, I breathe, but the act continues even when you forget it. Breath moves whether you attend to it or not. Your mind cannot design or maintain this rhythm, yet you claim ownership of it. Ibn Arabi questioned this assumption. He asked, who truly breathes through you? If the body acts without your command, and awareness only witnesses the motion, then what is the meaning of I breathe? Perhaps the body is not yours, but borrowed. Perhaps life flows through you rather than belonging to you. You live as if you move life, but what if life is moving you? The question sounds simple, yet it dissolves every certainty. Where does the act of breathing begin, and where do you begin? Ibn Arabi lived in the 12th and 13th centuries, traveling from Andalusia to Mecca and Damascus. Known as El-Sheikh al-Akbar, the greatest master, he united philosophy, theology, and mystical experience into one science, the science of being. For him, everything that exists is a manifestation of one reality. There is no independent doer, only the real acting through infinite forms. His question about breath is not biological, but metaphysical. When you observe life occurring through you, are you witnessing yourself, or witnessing the divine as yourself? In that moment, who is the one breathing, and who is the one observing? You speak as if you own your body, your thoughts, your destiny. Yet none of these were chosen by you. The heartbeat began before the word I appeared. The body maintains itself without your involvement. You live inside processes you neither designed nor control. Ibn Arabi would call this the proof that existence is participatory, not proprietary. You are not the source of life, but the passage through which life reveals itself. Even thinking occurs uninvited. Attention only arrives after the thought. If ownership dissolves at every level, then what remains of the you who claims to live? Is it possible that you are not living life, but that life is living you and calling itself I for a brief moment? You lift a hand and believe you have acted. The sense of doing seems immediate and unquestionable. Yet if the same motion happens involuntarily, the sense of I disappears. The act remains, but ownership fades. The mind attaches identity only after the event, taking credit for what has already occurred. Ibn Arabi saw this as the root illusion of human perception, mistaking awareness for agency. The witness within does not initiate. It observes. Thought says, I did, but the doing has already happened. If the observer is not the origin of action, then who or what performs the act called living? According to Ibn Arabi, all movement arises from one source, pure awareness. It animates every form, yet belongs to none. Each breath, thought, and motion is the universe recognizing itself in time. What you call you is a temporary expression of this single awareness. To believe you control life is like believing a word commands the language that speaks it. Awareness does not occur inside you. You occur inside awareness. It does not need a name or center to act. When you see this clearly, the idea of personal control loses meaning. The real acts through every form, and you are one such form through which it continues to act. Ibn Arabi taught that all existence is a mirror in which the one sees itself. Every phenomenon reflects the same reality from a different angle. The human being is the most conscious reflection of this unity. When breath moves through you, it is not the body performing a task. It is being recognizing its own motion. The act of breathing, the sense of awareness, and the awareness of breathing are not separate. They form one event, existence knowing itself. The distinction between observer and observed collapses into a single reality. What appears as you is that mirror in which the real witnesses its own continuity. The question, who breathes through you, becomes a statement. Only the one breathes. Through all that, when you stop insisting that life is yours, a quiet shift occurs. Fear begins to lose ground because ownership was its foundation. Control was built on the illusion of separation. Ibn Arabi's surrender is not withdrawal, but alignment, letting the real act as it always has. To surrender is not to lose, but to see that nothing was ever possessed. You were never the one breathing, thinking, or deciding. These unfold by themselves. What remains is participation without claim, presence without possession. In that recognition, peace is not achieved. It is revealed as what was always there when the struggle for ownership ended. Ordinary thought divides reality into cause and effect, actor and act. Ibn Arabi rejected this division. The real is both the doer and what is done, the mover and what moves. The breath, the body, the awareness of breathing, all are aspects of a single process of being. There is no individual standing apart to control or witness it. When this is seen, the phrase "my life" loses its foundation. There is only life, expressing through countless forms. You are one gesture among them. The question no longer stands, who breathes through you? Instead, it becomes realization. There is no one else to breathe, only the real. Breathing as all that is. You notice that breath, thought, and perception arise within the same undivided field. The boundary between self and world no longer holds. Awareness is not something you possess, it is what everything shares. Ibn Arabi's teaching reaches its clarity here. Once you recognize that life lives itself, the sense of separation dissolves. The mind no longer stands outside experience, trying to manage it. Instead, it rests as the very flow it once tried to direct. You are neither actor nor observer, neither subject nor object. You are the living continuity in which both appear, and in which both quietly fade. The question, who breathes through you, no longer requires an answer. It fulfilled its task by removing the assumption that someone separate exists to ask it. What remains is understanding without division. Life is not happening to you, nor through you, it simply is. Ibn Arabi's wisdom points to this stillness. The real alone acts, perceives, and continues through every form and every instant. You were never apart from it, only unaware of the unity that sustains you. When this is seen, ownership fades, but nothing is lost. The breath continues, thought continues, existence continues, without the claim of a self behind them. In that recognition, silence speaks. The one alone breathes, and you are its knowing. This inquiry begins with a simple act, breathing, and ends with the dissolution of the one who claims to perform it. The movement from "I breathe" to breathing happens, reveals a deeper truth. The self is not the source, but the reflection of being. Ibn Arabi's teaching guides reason towards stillness, where understanding replaces effort. In that stillness, life is seen as self-sufficient, self-moving, self-aware. The illusion of agency disappears, yet awareness remains clear, continuous, whole. The listener does not find an answer, but loses the need for one. The question that began as curiosity becomes realization. What breathes through you is what you have always been, the unbroken act of existence, forever present, forever one.